Warning, we are a spoiler-based podcast. At times, we are also an offensive podcast, and we are most certainly a verbally explicit podcast. So if you fear for any of your delicate sensibilities, please back up now before you reach the point of no return. This is your final warning.
All right, good morning and welcome to the Cinematic Anarchy podcast. Or good morning, afternoon, night, whenever you're listening to this. I'm Christopher.
I'm Zeph.
Nicky.
Okay, yes, and we have Nicky here today with us, a special guest that we've dragged into our little piece of madness. And we're going to go ahead and give you a few moments to kind of talk yourself up and tell them what you're about, because that's what we spent our whole first podcast doing.
All right. Well, I'm a tattoo artist, and I do a little bit of everything. I pick up hobbies like it's nobody's business. I have a 6-year-old daughter, and life is going all right. I've got my little newspaper job and multiple other jobs coming through and all that good stuff. Yeah. Okay. I don't really know what to talk about.
Oh, you are currently penning the comic book as well.
Yeah, I'm coming out with this little Honey Be Kind comic based off like my tag name on TikTok.
All right.
Okay. So today we're going to be discussing a film that I have watched probably far too many times over the past few days, past few weeks really. God Bless America, and I believe everybody has gone through the movie at least once. I know you've watched it twice in the past week.
Yeah, I rewatched it this morning.
This is one of my favorite movies.
Actually.
It's a fantastic film. It's written and directed by Bobcat Goldthwait, and it stars Joel Murray and Tara Lynn Barr, lead actor and actress. Joel Murray as Frank, and Tara Lynn Barr as Roxy, sort of a, I want to say Bonnie and Clyde duo.
Yeah.
With Bonnie being on quite a bit the younger side of the movie. And their little adventure taking down who they feel are probably the rudest people in life. So, who wants to get us started here?
I love Roxy, just saying. She's fantastic. I feel everything that she says on like a personal level.
You honestly, I think Tara Lynn and Joel, they both kind of shared the spotlight there.
Yeah.
Joel being very grumpy old men throughout the entire movie, and Tara Lynn just kind of taking that teenage angst thing to another level. A little creepy at certain times.
But I kind of feel like it really does follow what is wrong with everything.
Yeah.
And it shows both aspects of it, the younger and the newer. So, the older and the younger. Like, why people of the young generation hate everybody, and why people of the older generation hate everybody. And it, like, kind of matches in the middle.
I think Frank's character was a little bit more reeled in than Roxy was. Because Roxy, from the get-go, was just like, I have this whole list. I'm ready to just take out right now. And Joel's like, no. Frank, not the actor, was just like, no, you know what? We only want to kill people that really deserve it.
Yeah.
Well, these people all deserve it. No, they don't deserve to die. Just the really rude people.
Particularly annoying.
He has an entire dream sequence in the beginning of the movie that I've actually sat down and watched this with my 14-year-old, and the first dream sequence in the beginning of the movie just completely, which was like, whoa, hey.
Yeah.
That's where we're going with this.
Well then.
Took out the entire family, baby and all. That was
that started
a little
quickly.
Intense. It's a dream sequence. Just remember, it's only a dream.
He doesn't actually kill a baby in the movie.
No, though several other rather deserving people.
Blows
Several
the fuck
babies
up.
were injured
And
in this film, but
I I really liked the whole beginning sequence of the movie. I know a few people felt it kind of dragged a little bit, but it kind of set up that important, 1, 2, 3 punch, the ex-wife and the horrible child, the ex-wife getting married to the essentially clueless buddy cop. And then you have...
needs to punch in the face.
Oh. He's that guy...
He's that kind of nice guy that you just... deep down, like, he doesn't do anything wrong, but you have to punch him in the face.
Just kind of cluelessly in the face nice, like, are you even paying attention to what's going on around you?
Yeah.
You're just nice in the face of just everything miserable going on around you. And then you have, of course, the horrible next-door neighbors that just...
constant screaming and bullshit.
We've all lived next to those neighbors. I've had places where the walls are so thin that you can hear the person breathing on the other side.
Yep.
Mind you, I should probably keep my ears from off the wall. I shouldn't be listening that close. But and then of course, punch number 3 is the asshole doctor telling him he has a malignant brain tumor and he's pretty much going to die. He's going to bite it, and that sets Joel off to not initially. To actually go out and kill people. He was going to kill himself. He was going to take himself out.
And then he saw that episode of whatever reality show it was. Where
the spoof of My Super Sweet 16.
Yeah. Where the little girl's screaming about getting the wrong car for her birthday.
Yeah, that's what set him off. And if you ever get the chance to pick up the Blu-ray and actually watch the deleted scenes, the takeouts, the character was so much worse. Like, they actually toned her down a little bit for what they put in the movie. And they had to cut it down because Larry Miller, they wanted to kind of have him as the kind of clueless, likable dad.
Yeah.
And Larry Miller kind of played an asshole. I don't know why I muted myself there. But he played an asshole in the cutscenes. He was, like, horrible, almost on the level of his daughter. Like, he was nice to his daughter, but, like, everybody else that he was dealing with, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, and just do what she wants.
Yeah.
Everything she says, do it.
Oh, my God.
She wanted acrobatic panthers, apparently.
What the fuck?
I want acrobatic panthers to spell out Happy Sweet 16 Chloe or something. It was just...
Oh, God.
No, thank you.
I'm not paying for that.
People give me cancer.
Can you find that?
And him... running to the high school to go take out this wonderful young lady was what got him and Roxy together. That was the beginning of their little tirade through town. He stole his annoying next-door neighbor's car, who was dumb enough to show him where the hide key is. And, I'm talking a lot here, if you guys want.
I like
you got this.
When he went to go get the key, though, he was not... Like, he was acting all nonchalant, like he's looking at, like, a scratch on his car or something, and then he goes right under it, like...
The next-door neighbor, like, when he got blocked in.
Yeah,
at the beginning of the movie. You need to move your car.
He, like, try to, like, play it off like that's, like, not where my key is.
Yeah.
He's staring at his car.
And there's actually a point, like, in the beginning, he actually, instead of first going to the car, he rested his coffee cup. The neighbor put his coffee cup on top of his car, on top of Frank's car.
Oh, really?
Before going to get his key. And then he retrieved his coffee and got in the car.
Like a fucking prick.
So I'm going to take my time doing this, too.
But I'm not going to stay in the top of my car with a ring.
Right. Well, I think that's the whole point. The guy
Yeah.
was just a prick through and through.
Yeah.
Like, you blocked yourself in, dude. I didn't block you in. Leave yourself a little room the next time. Like, you didn't park in front of him back all the way up so there was like an inch, maybe an inch and a half room.
Yeah.
And there's nobody in front of you. So you could have given him more room. You just decided to be a dick about it. And I love the attempt. School's Out by Alice Cooper plays, which actually is sort of foreshadowing to a conversation later on. And he lights a match. He lighter fluid and all, puts it in the gas tank. He handcuffs Chloe to the car, and he's like gets to walking away, lights a cigarette,
it just flies away.
and it flies away. And so
see, what I don't understand is there were all those witnesses that saw him shoot her in the face.
It's throughout the entire movie. This happens,
and no one tells the police that it's this guy.
Because everybody really hated her too.
I think that's why they kind of picked him too for the role. is because he's kind of that everyman that you can forget very easily.
Exactly, yeah.
You know, so he's nondescript, doesn't have a rememberable face.
Nothing very
mind
noticeable.
You, we remember him because he's that
guy.
That guy, yeah. I had seen him in tons of different things, but really didn't put a name to the face until I watched this movie. Like everybody in the parking lot just sees him, and he's nervously stomping this, cloth out that he had just stuffed in her gas tank, thinking, hey, the whole thing's going to blow up. And then just, he looks at them, he looks at her,
trying to be cool.
blows her brains out, and runs away. That's another thing in the director's commentary. He actually admits that he fully stole that from Pulp Fiction. It was a complete rip-off from Pulp Fiction that he stole, put in his own movie. That whole brain splattering sequence against the windshield. And then there's that lovely little interaction between him and Roxy. Did you just kill Chloe? And he just runs off. And she's like, cool.
And then she finds him at his hotel room.
About to kill himself again.
You fucking pussy.
Yeah, no, she's like, okay, if you're going to do it, I just want to watch you die. And she gets
the plastic thing and hops inside. That's some shit I would do.
Just hops inside, her face poking out, and she's like, go ahead, do it. Do it. I want to watch. And thankfully, she talks him out of killing himself and into going after the people that truly deserve it. And then, again, her list is much longer than Frank's is.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that she would love to take out, and Frank is like her solid, or as solid a moral center as you're going to get in this movie.
Yeah.
He says, no, we're going to make sure it's just people that really, really deserve it. And let's see, I think their next interaction was at the
Chloe's parents.
That's right. They take out. Okay, so I'm actually already a scene ahead at the movie theater, and it was Chloe's parents bid it next. I think that scene was kind of forgettable for me.
A little bit. They're forgettable people though.
But Chloe's mom and dad were just so inconsequential to the movie, and honestly, I like Larry Miller, the guy that played Chloe's dad, but his role was so muted there that even when he bid it, and he had that.
I'll pay you anything
kind of.
You want.
It was a very weird death for him. Just I don't even know how to describe that
really
verbally. Then, of course, Mom, the ditzy woman, just bites it, runs right into a blade, and Roxy kind of guts her. There's a whole splash of blood everywhere, and of course, Frank, who didn't have any blood on him up until that point, gets a nice big hug from Roxy. Now there's blood all over him. He's like, oh, come on, man. Really? Did you have to do that? And then scene number 2, they go through the drive-thru to go get food. How did this guy in the drive-thru not immediately call the cops? The girl's covered in blood in the seat next to him. How he just looked in there and went, here's your food.
Well, are you going to say something to the bloody people in the car?
No, but I mean, as a guy watching somebody covered in blood drive through the drive-thru, I might have taken down the license plate or something and said, "Hey, dude, these guys just went they went south down 95."
They had
not my job,
that
not
noticeable
my
car for the longest time.
Yeah, ran the scene of killing a 16-year-old girl. Just ran that scene with witnesses.
They didn't actually.
He subbed out the license plate at one point. He took it off a truck.
They
That's
nearing the end of the movie, I think, after the truck stop scene is when they split ways. He gave the car to her to go drive back and go to her family, and then we're getting ahead of ourselves, and then he took the truck from the what they deemed as the truck stop pedophile, or the pancake eating pedophile.
He just randomly strangles with a telephone.
Yeah, but that's way ahead. So I think after that, after hosing themselves down in the car wash, which was actually done at night in around midnight, 40-degree weather, they were standing outside hosing themselves off. And
happy as can be, though.
Joel recollected that they were freezing. And he's like, I'm glad we got that done in very few takes because it was very cold.
Yeah.
They moved on and went back to the hotel, and I don't know if was the movie theater next, or was the evangelist, not the evangelist, but the dude on the TV, the Sean Hannity knockoff. That
I want to say he was the third. He was after.
I think he was after the movie theater, if I'm not mistaken. I think
I'm pretty sure the movie theater kind of really sets him off, right? Like,
Yeah.
like that's where, like, okay, we're gonna go after these types of people because they become famous at that point.
Right.
They finally got the, well, in her eyes,
The
first
recognition that she wanted to get.
Yeah, so she's like, we have to go.
And he was
after
pissed
this
about that
and
too.
this and this.
He was like, you kids. He goes, you guys can only, you're not in the moment. He goes, you're not taking a mental picture of what's going on around you. You can only be happy when you see it in video later.
Yeah.
You got to see yourself in video to be happy about the moment you just had in real life.
But
it's like,
she got what she wanted. They
I
found
kind
the
of
next
understand
target
that.
right after.
Right. Yeah, no, actually, I think it was the scene they're shopping in the thrift store to go get new clothes because their old clothes were covered in blood.
Yeah.
And they're shopping in the thrift store, and there's that whole weird scene where she's like, "Do you think I'm pretty?" And he's like, "No, we're not doing this. No. Well.
That's part of like.
You don't think I'm pretty?
This country right now. This is what I hate.
All right, yeah. He goes down a whole list of people, R. Kelly and Woody Allen and everything, just
People
talking
who give
about
high fives.
just talking about the objectification of children in society.
Yeah.
And he goes, I'm not going to be responsible for the self-esteem of a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, you can kill with a teen, but you can't fuck a teen. And he's like, well, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely the point I'm making here. It's like, well, thank you for making this a less creepy movie, because it was starting to veer into very creepy territory. Kind of like, what was that movie?
Is it The Professional? Is that what you're thinking of?
No, I'm thinking about Rainn Wilson. He had like a weird superhero movie where he was going around whacking people with a wrench, and like the girl that came after him in that movie.
I can't even think of it.
Super,
yeah. That's exactly right. Yeah, it was just a weird movie, and this guy was definitely whacked out of his head.
Yeah.
Rainn Wilson was whacked out of his head the whole movie, but the girl that came after him, it was definitely a very, he is way too old for this girl vibe.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I'm very glad that they steered away from that whole vibe in this. Like, we're going to go take a hard right turn and say, that's one of those people we hate.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate
You're
that.
leaving that directly.
So yeah, then right after that scene is when they go to the movie theater. Because he
Yeah.
had just gotten his nice little hat, and she got her little Bonnie. They wanted to do the Bonnie and Clyde thing at that point. They even dressed that way. And you got the gaggle of teenagers that come in, 4 teenagers. Now, this is a very unlikely situation, because those particular teenagers, you're not going to walk into a documentary about the Vietnam War.
Yeah.
Okay, so right out of the gate.
That's just kind of like, that's
Like,
never going to happen.
But
We're
even
just-
so, any movie, if they're in that movie theater, I hate them. I brought somebody to the movies. Me and my friend Mikey were very avid Marvel fans. It was the Avengers. We went to go watch the Avengers. Our neighbor's like, yeah, like, let's go. I love that. We're like, great. And we're talking so much shit on the ride there about, like, nobody better talk in this movie. And the guy, our neighbor's just like, yeah, nobody better do that, blah, blah, blah. Picks his phone up in the middle of the movie theater. Like, yeah, no, nothing's wrong. I'm just at the movies with my friends.
Shut the fuck up.
We're not with him,
We
but like,
just
you want to punch
discussed
that
this.
guy. You know what I mean? You really want to punch that guy.
You want to see the usher going around, basket, cell phone,
Yeah.
give me the cell phone. What the fuck's wrong with you? Put the
Obviously, you
cell phone
shouldn't
in
have
here.
to. Common sense. Everybody should just not be on their phone.
Yeah.
So many movie theaters allow you, like the one down the way here allows you to drink in the movie theater now. So a lot of people that didn't have sense to begin with are drinking the sense right out of themselves.
Yeah.
And so they're in the theater half inebriated anyway, eating a full frickin' meal,
Yeah.
lounging like they're at home. They
Wait.
feel too comfortable.
But you go there for that. You don't
Right.
go to if you go to like Lowe's, stay off your phone.
Yeah.
This is why I don't spend a lot of money on the movie theaters anyway. I got a big TV at home. I can buy, for the amount of money that I can take my family out to go see a movie in the theaters, I could probably buy 6 or 7 DVDs, watch it at home.
Yeah.
Have a whole movie night, not just 2 hours out in a movie theater. There's very few movies that'll actually drag me out of my house. Like Avengers Endgame, I'm going to see in the theater.
Yeah.
Big screen. Have to see that
My
there.
boyfriend and I constantly
But,
like, oh yeah, we're gonna go to the movies, and it just never happens.
God bless America. I probably wouldn't have seen it on the big screen. I'm glad that it came right out on Blu-ray,
Exactly.
you know?
I'm gonna be king of the pirates. Just kidding. I buy all my legal videos.
So the annoying teenagers are behind them,
Yeah.
and they're just throwing stuff at him. Hey, what are you looking at, old man? And then, of course, the dude in the front, who's initially looking at the annoying teens like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
Why won't you shut up?
And then
His
picks
phone
up a
goes
call,
off.
lies directly to his wife. Yeah, I'm at work.
I'm at work. No, I can't pick her up. I'm at work. Come on, I can't help it. I'm at work.
Yeah. That ends. He died in the movie theater. His wife now knows that he was lying about being at work.
Yep.
I would just hope that if he got out of there, his wife would have ended him at home.
Shot right in the
We know
face
you
through
were
the
here.
phone.
We saw the video. There was cops there, and there's all sorts of people outside the theater going, hey, yeah, these guys were shooting up the place. I saw you walk right by behind them. You're dead.
He died, didn't he? Didn't he get shot right in the
Oh, yeah, he got
face?
shot right in the forehead. I'm filming this. I'm recording this on his little flip phone. That's very 2011. Got shot right in the head. Right through the phone. So yeah, then they, of course, escape the theater, go to another hotel, and everything is filmed on the way out. So nothing in the theater, but they get filmed on the way out, and they're saying armed and dangerous. Now, the only thing that you see, obviously, they got shot in there, but you obviously see Roxy's character kind of pointing the finger guns as they're walking out of the building. Why, as a mass murdering couple going wherever the hell are they going, why would you exit through the front of the building and not through the exit out in the back? Like, why would you not go the way that had less people?
They didn't think.
Less likely to capture you on video. And that's the point where you're right. That's the point where they're at the hotel and he's complaining about his headaches and.
That moment was like imperative to their getting recognized, though.
That's true. That's where they got their recognition. That's where she got all happy.
Yeah.
Who's the next big profile guy that we can take out? And
But the missing girls case doesn't. They don't realize like, oh, that.
Yeah, they don't
woman's
connect it.
Yeah, like they don't figure that out. Oh, there's a guy and a girl. Oh, she looks like my daughter, and they're killing people. That never gets put together.
Yeah.
well, the first girl that they killed, it was just Joel. So she was out in the woods, and obviously the 5 or 6 girls that were coming down the way that saw Frank shoot Chloe, obviously they were either too shocked or too into themselves or trying to find their phones to film.
Yeah.
I don't know what was going on, but they were not paying attention to him. They just saw what happened to Chloe and forgot his face altogether. And
fire profile picture.
nothing big. Beautiful house, no security there, obviously. So Chloe's parents bid it with little fanfare at all. We don't know who did this. Did you see either one of them wearing gloves?
No, I don't believe so.
Throughout that entire home, he trips over everything.
Fingerprints everywhere.
Fingerprints everywhere, not a clue.
Right? Like, unbelievable.
We didn't find him in 24 hours. We'll just put this on the back shelf.
Right.
You know,
And
That's
then,
pretty much how it goes.
of course, the cop that pulls them
Well,
over.
that's the thing about this movie, though. It shows what's wrong with America.
Yeah, like
It's like it
also-
has a lot of good points in this movie.
And
I'm
also
not
the-
going to go on a rampage, but
It also depicts your average person as quite clueless. Like, the rampant ignorance and stupidity that's going on.
yeah.
And I would laugh at it if I didn't agree wholeheartedly that there's plenty of that going on right now.
Oh, entirely.
I'm on several social media platforms now. I wasn't in the past, but I am now. And just read Twitter feeds, Facebook feeds, and you'll realize anybody that talks about politics, religion, anything, you got to take a deep breath before you go into all those comments.
Yeah.
Because you range from perceptive all the way down to how weren't you taken out in the womb? Just what happened? What happened between here and there that your mother said, hey, it's a good idea to raise this kid? And then they got into teenage years. Yep, still a wonderful child. Adulthood. And it just keeps going on. We accept this stupidity as someday they'll grow out of it. They're not going to grow out of it.
No.
No. And social media allows
It's just
too
going
much
to
of
get
it,
worse as
honestly.
they get older because they have more power over themselves.
I have no problems with the positive powers of social media. I kind of hate the trolls. I really do.
Oh, yeah.
kind of a troll.
Okay, and of course you've got the clueless police officer that pulls them over.
Yeah.
No.
After they were just on the fucking news.
Hey,
They were just on the news, and he pulls them over in the stolen car, which apparently the clueless neighbor. This got to be a couple of days now,
Yeah.
and this car has been
report it
on the
missing?
road
Didn't report it missing or anything?
Didn't report it missing. Yeah, just they're a couple of days on the road now, and he's just like handing them the registration. Oh yeah, this is my brother-in-law's car, and I'm taking her down to check out college. He's like, go Blue.
Well, they did.
People, I don't know what that was.
Go Big Blue.
She was locked and ready to take this cop out. Also,
He asked her for ID, and she's like, "Yeah, let me get the ID right here."
Got, like some sort of emergency. It was just like, all right, take your niece.
That was loud as shit too. The way like she,
right. Like he would not have heard that. Dead silent, looked like almost a back road. It's like they were on the main road to begin with, weren't they? And then all of a sudden they were on something that looked like a dirt road. Like they had pulled off on a farm road somewhere. It's like, okay.
What were you two doing back here? You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. That's just not weird at all.
And then another scene, I'm not sure if we may have glossed over it at some point. I think it actually comes shortly before they end up at the truck stop. But another scene where he's sitting outside of his ex-wife's house watching the daughter and the mother interact with each other. And of course, his daughter is, for lack of a better term, the spawn of Satan. I mean, just spoiled to the point of...
Mommy got a BlackBerry and not an iPhone. I hate school. It's just
outside
your typical bratty, spoiled child that like the parent just does not want to be.
Now, I'll be honest. I mean, I'm not a spoiled person, but as a child, if I was asking for an iPhone and Mommy bought me a BlackBerry, I'd probably be a little ticked off too. What am I supposed to do with this thing? I wanted an iPhone and you got me this thing with a keyboard attached to the front of it. We're not. This is like for business folks.
Yeah, I mean,
I want the play toy. I don't want the business phone.
I've gotten plenty frustrated with my mother when like she wouldn't get me any like fancy new electronics.
Yeah, see that's different now. Like everything is electronic goods.
Yeah.
It's not quite as costly.
Up, it wasn't common.
No, but now it's the newest video game system, the newest video game.
Yep. Everyone has to have something.
Honestly, way back when I like my first system was like an Atari, and then we had the Nintendo.
Yeah.
And it's like, if I had told my mother, like, they had a tough enough time going out and buying a $40 to $50 game, okay? What a game means now with all the DLC and the extras, a $40 to $50 game, that's how it starts.
Yeah.
And then it's like, now could you do me a favor and buy me all the, $120 worth of attachments that come with this game? So now you got a $40 to $50 game that's turned into a $200 venture real damn quick. I would not have been able to fly that by my parents at all. But right now, that's my daughter and my son. They both ask me for these things frequently. I got another young man that lives with me that he constantly is buying stuff for games that he has. And I'm just thinking to myself, the amount of money that we've kind of thrown away on games over the past couple of years, if I could just get that back, we could probably afford to put a down payment on a house by now. But no. Hey, Nintendo and PlayStation and all those wonderful folks at Sony, Microsoft, and...
I have not bought a gaming system since I was I haven't had a gaming system of my own since I was 7. So...
Good on you. Really, good on you.
So, I'm really excited for the PlayStation 5 because it's supposed to be back compatible with all of the PlayStation games. I'm so excited for this. I'm going to play the fuck out of fucking, what was it, Sly Cooper,
older Crash Bandicoot games.
We got the remastered Crash Bandicoot games.
You said something about, I think I saw you post Spyro.
Yes.
Yeah, I really wanted to get that remastered edition they had of that.
It is entirely worth the buy. Oh my god, it is perfect to a T, almost exactly like the old games, just better quality graphics.
Well, I'd hope they'd clean it up because.
But it's almost exactly like the old games, and it's just incredible. The colors are just vibrant and beautiful. Oh god, I love it.
Let me tell you, I tried to attach an old school PS2 to my big screen TV, and the graphics do not transfer. They just do not.
I believe it.
It looked horrible. It's almost as bad as trying to put VHS up on there. Just, we got the VHS HD. Well, no, that's for HD, way back before HD was really a thing.
Yeah.
It was just the label they slapped on it.
And the sad part is I'm getting back into VHS. I have to go get a current VHS player, which is not easy to find because nobody does VHS anymore. You got to order that crap through like Amazon or specialty places.
Yeah.
Just they have those units that like transfer from VHS to Blu-ray or VHS to DVD, but it's like nothing, just strictly VHS.
I have a problem with Amazon now. My boyfriend's ready to have an intervention with me. I buy too much shit online.
I have a collection of movies. I don't know if you've seen some of the pictures I've put up, the stacks at home, but I have not physically purchased a DVD or Blu-ray with my own money in a long time. I have so many different apps in regards to shopping that give me kickbacks in the form of gift cards through Amazon that I'm just like, and we'll use this gift card for that one and this gift card for that one. Alright, so moving on back to Frank and his creepy stalking ways. I mean, he's already a murderer. We know that he's morally ambiguous, even though he's supposed to be the hero of our film. Same with Roxy. And they pull up in front of the house and they're watching Ava have yet another grand mal fit at mommy. And along strolls Brad. Brad, the wonderful new boyfriend to Frank's...
Fiancé. They're getting married.
Oh, yes, right. The soon-to-be husband of
his ex-wife.
His ex-wife, yes. And Frank is the wonderfully... not even wonderfully, the annoyingly clueless cop who walks up to Frank in a stolen car and leans in and sees the teenager in his seat and asks, "Hey, what's going on here?" And he just looks at us. "She's just a friend," and he gives him the kind of the raised eyebrows. Oh, okay.
Yeah, what the fuck was that?
He does the
So,
shocker, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh my god.
Cop boy pretty much glosses over A, pedophilia, B, stolen car, C, ex-husband stalking ex-wife.
Yep.
He just sees the good in everybody.
You want to say hi to the girls? No.
No.
They're having a moment.
And then, of
It's
course,
not weird at all. Like, this guy is sloppy.
Brad is happy to walk away and just leave it be. Don't tell them we're here. Okay, yeah, don't worry. I'm not going to say anything about you stalking my upcoming wife and her daughter. We're just going to let that slide.
How does this guy not have a problem with any of this? Like, this is so...
If you ever need a guy to lie
God.
to, you call Brad.
Yeah.
Right? I was there. Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, you were there.
Brad was clueless, and then he walks away, and Roxy's like, "You want to kill them next?" And no, we're not going to kill him because I want him to suffer. Like, he's marrying my wife and taking on my daughter, my ex-wife, and he's taking on my daughter. I want him to suffer.
Yeah. This is what my life could have been. This is what my life is now. My life's way better than that.
Well, that's actually a kind of a point that he makes with the movie with Brad, is that there's so many people out there that just cluelessly gloss over obvious signs just sitting right in front of them and happily just ignore it. It doesn't really involve me all that much. You do what you're going to do.
Yeah.
No, don't let the stalker get away. Don't let the guy who's been killing people get away. Obviously, he's in a stolen car. That isn't his. You know that obviously you're living with his ex-wife and his daughter. You know that he can't afford more than the apartment he was just in.
Yeah.
That's not his car. And he's got a teenager sitting in the front seat, and he's not giving you a good explanation as to why she's there. Yet, number 4 or 5
everywhere.
of people that he should have...
While I'm watching my family. You know what I mean? Like...
You got 2 cops at this point that should have called him out at some point. Nothing. You had a drive-through guy should have called him out. Nothing. Just... Nobody's catching on. Then we move on to their next intended victim, the radio show host, or the TV show host, the Sean Hannity knockoff that
Yep.
the politically and morally ambiguous fella that they hunt down while he's jogging. And that was a very interesting scene, because
I like that. I actually agree with some of your politics.
And
but you're just so fucking mean all the time.
And I like...
There's no need for it.
Roxy interacts with him and asks, "What, you agree with
yeah, like,
his
what exactly
politics?
what politics of his do you exactly agree with? Like,
obviously less gun control. Yeah. Well, if there was less gun control, then any nut could walk around with a gun. She's saying this after they've been
doing all this.
Duh. Yeah, I think that's kind of his point. Less gun control, obviously.
And they also feel morally correct at this point.
Yeah.
Like, this is their life's work.
And I think, of course, there was the regular chant that most of these folks have, these people that are trying to incite, riots amongst the masses, people that are trying to inflame situations that they shouldn't. She comes at him and he comes at him with some pretty solid points, and it immediately goes for that's your typical liberal feminazi point of view, and she's like, we're gonna put a bullet in your head now. You're dead.
Yep. And then she put 7 more bullets in her head.
It's like, we're holding a gun on you, telling you exactly this is the reason why we're going to kill you, and then you pretty much just put that bullet in your own head at that point.
But it's also funny because they both have 2 completely different reasons for wanting to kill him, but they just both feel like, no, he has to die. It's accepting. Like, all right, you might think one way, I might think the other, but we're still gonna kill you. Don't worry, we're not gonna not. We're just arguing amongst ourselves. Like, you're still gonna die.
Now, I did gloss over this one little thing in the beginning that I shouldn't have I should have mentioned. Part of the whole first scene where she wanted to come with him on this whole. Roxy wanted to come with Frank on this whole killing spree. She wanted to take out people, and she explained
gave him that. She told him that.
She BS'd him.
Yeah.
Basically told him, I'm home. I'm abused. My father comes in and rapes me nightly. Blah 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 blah. Gives him this bullshit thing.
Yeah.
Which the next scene they're doing the whole the pancake house thing.
Yep.
And
Roxy goes to the bathroom.
Goes to the bathroom. The guy they're having this nice little conversation. Roxy goes to the bathroom. The guy behind him propositions him for what's going on, and then he shuts him down, and he catches this. The news report of her parents looking for her. Mm-hmm. And her parents are like
this sweet little suburban couple.
Sweetest little suburban kind of close-knit couple. They look like I don't know. They look like saccharinely sweet.
Yeah.
And there's obviously no way that this couple had done exactly what she's explaining. Yeah. Now, honestly, I can't really say they didn't. Personally, I mean, obviously she gives it away a few scenes later, because I've known some people that were like so saccharinely sweet up front and were the biggest pieces of shit behind doors.
Oh, yeah.
But for the sake of the movie, we know where they're going with this, and this is where he decides they're going to part ways, but not after he garrots the guy that propositioned him in his own room and takes his truck.
Yeah.
So he flips Roxy the keys because he's just garroted this guy. She's just come out of the bathroom. Where are you going, Frank? And he's like, you know what? Here, take the keys. I caught the report. You lied to me outright. And
at this point, he also found out he doesn't have a tumor.
Right. Shortly thereafter, he finds out he does not have a tumor because he was mistaken for somebody else named Frank.
Frank. The last name was, one was B and the other was W.
So two... No, it was one big thing that drove him to kill people. Nothing else cleared itself up. He's still got the ex-wife with the horrible kid. Next door neighbors don't even matter anymore.
It was the fact that he was going to die, or he was convinced that he was going to die.
All right. So morally, everything's out the window because he figures, hey, I'm going to die anyway. Might as well go out with a blaze of glory.
Yep.
So now he's
the semi-special, mentally retarded singer from the American Superstar is what it was. And everybody's like making fun of him, and he hated that too.
So he tried to off himself.
Yeah, at the beginning.
He tried to kill himself, and so this is the next big scene. This is setting up for all that. He gets in contact with this arms dealer, and this is the big or go home situation. At this point, he's either going to turn himself in because he knows what he's been doing, or he's going to do what he wanted to do to begin with, just go out with a blaze of glory.
I thought he was going to kill the arms dealer when I first watched it.
Yeah, me too.
I thought he was going to be like, yeah, you're also what's bad with this country, but apparently he's very pro-guns. And
he's very pro-guns, and he actually...
I got you.
He dropped some morally ambiguous things. He dropped a couple of racially insensitive terms.
Yeah.
So I felt like, this is really what's wrong with this country. You're part of it. I thought he was just going to do that too. And then he would have had all the weapons.
But no, he was good with the sidearms and the AK-47 that he bought from the guy, and he moves on to the final scene, which is him striding up to, what was the name of this? It was an American Stars. Basically the American Superstars. American Superstars. It was the American Idol spoof TV show with the you had the same three guys. So you had the girl that was supposed to take Paula Abdul's place. You have the
Simon
nondescript British guy, and then the third fella. I can't remember.
Randy Jackson.
Randy Jackson. Actually, this guy was a little bit more out there than Randy was.
Yeah.
And he figures he can't get in through the front because he sees the bodyguard up front, so he has to go in through the service entrance. And he immediately takes out a guy that makes a bad joke about Robin Williams in the theater. So there's this guy that's like a TMZ knockoff dude, and he's talking about Robin Williams. Is that Sasquatch by the pool? No, that's Robin Williams.
Yeah.
And immediately, because, Bobcat and him are good friends. So obviously take a pot shot at Robin Williams and then kill the guy that did it. And then we have that fantastic scene, and I love that it was almost like a scene of prayer a little bit. He gets on his knees to unlock the AK-47 case, and he's unbuttoning his shirt because he knows he's about to go to town on whatever he's going to do. And then the guy comes up behind him. You can't be here. Pops him right there. Takes him out. He's just to the side of the stage. And obviously, what's going on stage? The gentleman that they brought back. Let's see. I'm forgetting names. Stephen Clark. Stephen Clark was the dude that they tried to kill himself. That they were making fun of.
He's like, I didn't try to kill myself because they were making fun of me. I tried to kill myself because they weren't going to put me on TV anymore.
Yeah. So his morals are all
fucked up too.
But yeah, at this point, Frank's still behind stage, and he pops this guy. Not a single person anywhere heard the gunfire. None of the shots that happened backstage were heard on stage.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So apparently they're all in their own little world, and then he gets on stage and immediately shoots the security guard that's coming up behind him before his speech. And
I love that speech.
Oh yeah, nice big speech about the moral ambiguity of the country and how things are.
There's no kindness anymore. America's corrupt and toxic to itself.
And that we pick on the weakest for our own amusement. And,
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, if you really look at it, is just reality television in general right now.
Everything
they love that kind of
stuff.
stuff.
This movie has happened in real life.
Yeah.
Except that minus the killing. Rampage.
Oh, yeah, it's gotten worse since the release of this movie.
Oh yeah.
Very much so. But and then of course, he this kid opens his mouth. Stephen Clark opens his mouth and drops that line, and he. Oh no! Actually, I skipped ahead a little bit because Roxy comes on stage.
Yep.
To tell him she could.
I'm sorry.
9 o'clock, Frank. That's where the security guard comes and gets popped.
Yep.
All the cops start surrounding them.
And Frank's like, "What the fuck was that?" It's just a security guard acting on its own. We didn't send him in.
And he tries
all the
to.
cops are just like, "Hey,
That
what
wasn't
can we
us.
do to help
Calm
you?"
down, don't start shooting people. And he's trying to make the judges dance for their amusement, and Steve's just opens his mouth. The stupidest thing you could do in this situation. Opens his mouth. No, I wasn't trying to kill myself because nobody loved me or they were making fun of me. I killed myself. I tried to kill myself because they weren't going to watch me anymore. They weren't going to put me on TV. And that's when him and Chloe have that little moment.
Yep.
And he said
mental high five.
He said, Chloe,
That's
not Chloe, my apology. I'm saying
Roxy.
Chloe. Roxy. Chloe was the girl they killed in the
Dead
beginning. He said, Roxy, you're a beautiful girl. And she says, thank you, Frank. And then he hands her the AK-47. He pulls the gun from his waistband, takes out Stephen Clark, and they just go to town on the crowd. And
then they go out in their blaze of glory.
And I feel like, that's something, he's like, oh, I don't want to, morally corrupt, a young person, so me telling them whether they're beautiful or not, but, at the end, he's like, you are beautiful. You are what's good with this country. You know what I mean? Which is fucked up, but that's the purpose of this movie. It's like, that's...
It was a weird moral compass that they were setting out there. It's like, we're trying to take out the bad stuff. These are the people that we feel are bad, but essentially... the way that they go about it, the mass slaughter, that puts them in that category.
Now, and I was thinking this just it kind of popped in my head while watching the movie. Roxy is actually his tumor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's kind of she doesn't actually exist. So kind of if you kind of think about it, that's why nobody really notices that she's there and kind of plays it off. Why is this guy with this girl? Because she doesn't really exist. That's what I was thinking a little bit during the whole movie. And then, like, he finds out...
Would have been a weird twist at the end, but it wouldn't have made sense in a lot of the situations that they were in.
Yeah, but he finds out that she doesn't have... he doesn't have a tumor. That's when he sends her away. And then he comes back to, like, the final stage. Yeah. And, like, he kind of, like, am I doing the right thing? Am I not? And then she comes back, and it's like... It's so kind of like his conscience the whole time. Like,
well,
this is it. No,
I feel like he was her moral center, and she was his drive. So she kept him driven to do what he was doing with her, and he kept her centered enough that she wasn't just going off and popping any particular individual. Hey, we're just going to shoot everybody that annoys me, because man, if people started doing that, I could tell you right now, half my street would be cleared.
I think I don't live on the street.
I feel that.
That's neither here nor there. And actually, the whole screenplay that it was written, Bobcat actually went on to say this is really how he feels about a lot of these things. So he didn't just write this as like this. Hey, what if we did this? This would be funny. This is actually a lot of his feelings that he put down on paper.
Yeah, it's a good fucking movie. I enjoyed it.
One of my favorite movies of all time.
Really, the fact that I hate a lot of the things that he hated in this movie.
I think that was kind of the point. A lot of people feel that way, in spite of I know my oldest child. She watches a lot of. She kind of partakes in some of this stuff. She watches a lot of those shows that just make you go, "Oh my god," and I think it kind of makes her. It's like I know it makes you feel better about yourself. Well, a lot of people are famous
for the stupidest shit.
Well, they're famous for being famous. That's about it. It's like we took this idiot and we put them in situation after situation, and now they're famous and they're making money strictly because
they exist.
We put them in front of you to laugh at.
Yeah.
But back then there was actually the William Hung, I believe is what his name was, and he did
that's what
that's like what he was.
Well, that's why American Idol, they actually switched up their voting system. They fixed the voting system because there was like 2 or 3 seasons in a row where they were pushing people forward in the voting systems that by no means should have reached that final group.
Yeah.
There were people that just could not sing, and that people just thought were funny. And just they were pushing them forward and through American Idol, and American Idol is like, no, we're going to nip this in the bud real quick because we don't want these people to get to this point.
Yeah.
That's what
we want the laughable people to be the laughable people, period.
America's Got Talent. You could be laughable now. You know what I mean? You don't. It doesn't have to.
Well, that's half the point to America's Got Talent.
Yeah, exactly. Now it's like they switched it so that you can do just about anything, as opposed to strictly being singing.
Because apparently, being a laughing stock or a joke to a lot of people is talent. Hey, wow, that was funny. I can laugh at you and not feel bad about it because you put yourself on TV doing that.
Yeah.
Oh. I can't. I can't abide a lot of stupidity. I've gotten to the point in my life where I can't waste my time on it. It's like I won't invest in reality TV at all. I'll say it out loud.
I don't even have cable, so there's that.
I'll say it out loud. I won't invest in the Kardashians. I'm not investing in the Jersey Shore or any of that stuff. I'm well aware of how these people got their beginnings. I tuned out after I actually watched the first couple of seasons of The Real World because I kind of liked how it was, but then it started. It wasn't them taking real life people and putting them in this situation. You could tell that they were designing things.
Yeah, everything was scripted.
Yeah, it was all scripted. It was like, we're going to put you in this situation. This is how we want you to act.
Reality TV really isn't
they
reality.
liked it when they did this.
Acting
so you go twice as hard now.
All right. Well, we've had a nice full discussion about God Bless America, and I thank you for tuning in, watching, or pressing that button, depending upon how you went about this. And I'm not going to say from all of us here, from myself, I hope you have a wonderful time listening to us in the future.
This was great.
Thank you for being here. We hope to have you on many, many times in the future.
Yes, definitely.
You're more than welcome back whenever you want to come back. And I know
love this. This is a good way to go about our Sundays.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we record on Sundays mostly, and we try to get things out for the following weekend. So this will be up hopefully by this upcoming Friday morning.
Well, when you guys listen to it, whenever, whether it's morning, evening, night, Glad you guys tuned in.
Thanks for
All right.
listening.
Thanks for listening.
Thank you for listening. Thank you.
And come back to Cinematic Anarchy.